I'm alright. Tired. Try to finish this damn game. Try to finish it today. Because there's more mods coming out and I need to speed it up.
We fought long and hard for this.
There's a full, like, rebalance mod out, and I kinda, like, don't really want to touch it until I finish, so... Chop chop. It's also the Fight Forever demo, which is, coming... Well, actually, it's already out. Oh boy, forced walking! He's in no hurry! Isn't forced walking the best? He needs to stop an apocalyptic level threat and he's just walking slow. Yep. No hurry. He can wait. Classic JRPG trope. Final boss is just chilling, waiting for you, and you gotta help people, you know, bring their groceries in and do their errands. You gotta do DoorDash for 12 hours, and you can fight the final boss. It's okay. Final boss will wait. No hurry. He's gotta pay his bills and make some calls. It'll be alright. I think Tales of Berseria is the worst about that because the dungeon in that is like this massive labyrinth. I'm like, how does he get pizza delivered up there? They must get hungry waiting. The DoorDash driver is going to require a $500 tip. You want me to deliver pizza through that hellscape? You better pay. You better tip good. There's a Shredder's Revenge update today as well. They're shadow dropping 2 new characters and an OST. I'm not like the biggest fan of that game, but if the characters are unique, I might buy them. Yeah, that came out like less than 24 hours ago.
Bow down, offenders, hearts disdain.
Yeah, we've got 3 bad beat-em-ups coming out this month, and Fight Forever is the best one. Incredible game.
heads hung low is penance paid. Oh, wretched mortals, incapable even of contrition. In fitting season.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Know your insignificance.
Boss is kind of not fun to fight. Another projectile spammer. I really wish this game had more move slots. This game is fun, but you just don't have enough moves. I need to give you way more slots. Like double. It's whack how you only get 6. Nowhere near enough. Can you do something besides spam projectiles? It's like these last couple bosses just don't ever attack melee. Or very rarely. No fun to fight. He just keeps doing that over and over. How'd that kill me? I had a lot of health. This boss is zero fun. These bosses game are just not fun when they only spam projectiles and push you away. It just keeps doing this over and over. It's like I don't want to change my build because you have so few slots. I don't know why they thought 6 moves was okay. Come on, can't the PS5 handle more than that? I think it's not that weak, is it? This game desperately needs a mod that just gives you double the moves. There's a lot of moves in this game, you just can only equip 6. It's the worst thing about it. Global moveset shortage. Moveset shortage is a very big problem in our world currently. How did that kill me? He should have been staggered. Wow. I'm just getting impatient. It's not the game's fault. It does everything to keep you away. This shit keeps doing. It's not fun. I don't want to change my build. You should just give me more slots so I can actually play the way I want. Why they give you so many moves and then don't let you use them. It's actively the worst thing about this game. You're gonna give me options, let me use them. Don't limit me to such a small amount. He keeps doing this. Over and over. This again, aren't you, bastard?
Gifted this chance, and still you would raise your hand against the Lord.
What now? The darkness bends. He means to end us. It wouldn't be the first time. But let's make it his last.
Oh no, it's just weird that this game's like not really an RPG. It's not an RPG. Barely. But then like you still have to make decisions with your build. Because you have so few slots. I mean, it's my fault that I'm not changing my build. That's not the game's fault. I don't want to sound like I'm blaming the game for something I can easily control. It's just, if you had more slots, this game would be a lot better.
Prostrate yourself.
Hello. How you doing? Trying to finish this game. Maybe not this stream, but next stream. Attempt to finish it. There's not much left. Alright, just tired. The gameplay for this, I don't really do ratings, but it is good. It is good. It's just only giving you 6 moves is a really weird choice, because there's lots of really cool stuff you can do in this game, but you always feel limited by that. It's thing I could compare this to most to is probably Tales of Innocence R, which I know a lot of you have not played for obvious reasons. Now, the combat obviously is very different in this compared to Innocence R, but the thing that's the same is you have a lot of options. It's not like there's a drought of options to use in the game, it's just that they don't give you any slots. Which is precisely the problem with Innocence R. In Innocence R, you have 8 slots, but then they expanded everyone's moveset, so even the non-protagonist characters have like 20-25 moves, but you can only use 8. And you spend a lot of time trying to figure out how you want to play the game and have fun with only 8 slots. So it's that's probably the biggest parallel I could compare this to, is Innocence R. Like, if we get an Arts Ball mod for that game is going to be so much better. It's already one of the best Tales games for gameplay. Obviously not graphics. The story is okay. Definitely not on par with Abyss. But gameplay-wise, if we got an Arts Ball for that, it would be, like, top-tier Tales game. And this game has the exact same problem. You could do a lot more cool stuff in this game if you didn't only have, 6 slots. So, hopefully, the mods will get to the point where that's something that's feasible to do. Because it's, definitely the worst thing about this game. The combat is more than capable, it's more than competent, but you gotta put too much thought into, like, how you can play the game with those very strict limitations. I mean, it sucks because
I only hope she understands.
It's got a good foundation. Also, the thing about Final Fantasy is, unlike Tales, they don't really expand upon, they don't expand upon what they already have. They don't do that. They go back to the drawing board, like, 'cause they haven't done a true turn-based Final Fantasy in over 20 years. Which is why it's weird that people are expecting them to go back to it. I'm like, well, they haven't for a long time now. Turn-based Square Enix RPGs has been demoted to, side franchises like Octopath Traveler and stuff, and the gacha games. Like, they're not gonna make a turn-based RPG with this budget.
Almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
I don't know why people think that they're going to do that. I'm like, you want the game to not make its money back? This is already a company that complains when something sells like 5 million copies. They're not going to sell 5 million with turn-based. That's going to greatly limit their potential user base or demographic to people that are my age and, still want turn-based. It's like, there's plenty of turn-based games, they're just not going to have a budget like this. I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, sir.
It would be nice if
Come
we could
again.
get turn-based
I may have
games with
more
a budget
for ya.
like this, but it's just not realistic to expect that. I don't really feel you need specifically a big budget for turn-based games anyway. There's a new Shad PS4 update. Well, there's nothing on there I really want to play except Gundam Breaker 3. It's like the one thing. One thing I want on Shad PS4 is like Gundam Breaker 3. That's like the only thing I'd really be interested in using it for. The big thing people want is Bloodborne. Apparently Bloodborne is making some progress. They've got it running pretty well. Sad that they had to develop an entire emulator to get Bloodborne on PC. How messed up is that? They won't port that game. Well, Sony lost like hundreds of millions of dollars on Concord, so maybe they'll speedrun do a Bloodborne port. There's supposed to be a state of play tomorrow. I hope the Bloodborne fans will get what they want. Now's the time. They lost all that money on Concord. Gotta make some of it back. The cheapest way to make some of that money back is just put Bloodborne on PC. That's all that's needed. Case of emergency, port Bloodborne. There you go. A couple million right there, easy. Maybe if they're like gonna go like bankrupt, if they keep making bad decisions like Concord, that's gonna be their emergency. Just port Bloodborne. There you go.
Not this time.
I don't know, do you guys want to see the state of play tomorrow? I don't really have anything planned tomorrow, so I guess I could stream it. I don't know, streaming those is kind of buzzkill because I don't have a PS5. Wait a year for them to port it to PC like this. I guess I'll watch it. I'll see if I feel like it, no promises. The Demon Souls remake is another one. I don't know why they don't have that on PC. There's like no reason why they shouldn't. Well, they gotta make their money back from Concord, so... Maybe they'll just port everything. Like, hey, you know all those games that are stuck on PS4? We're just gonna port them all right now. Like, hey... Concord was a massive bomb. We need some money. We need a cash infusion. Here's Demon Souls remake. Here's Bloodborne.
Sorry about Dion.
Don't be. Please. He
What else is there?
did what he had to do.
I don't know. Those are the big
Next
ones.
time we did the same.
Well, as long as Vanillaware keeps putting their stuff on Switch, I can make PC ports. They just don't make games I'm interested in anymore.
Should we stop?
Because of the cough. No, I think we're past that, Clive.
I suppose we are.
Well, apparently Atlas wanted Unicorn Overlord on PC, but Vanillaware said no. I'm like, how do they have that much say
So cold.
if they're getting funded by
So
Atlas?
empty.
Unless they like funded it themselves, but I doubt that because they put out a game like every 5 years.
But I don't want to think
They don't churn them out. They're not RGG Studio.
Waiting for us at home.
They can't like churn out games mega quick. So I don't know. I think as a business you'd want your game on as many platforms as possible to make more money, but I guess not.
Countless centuries have I waited for this moment. This moment in which I might revel in my creation, only to find it profaned and so it must be cleansed.
That's the thing though, I mean you could just go download the ROM, right? If you're a jerk. You want to pirate stuff from a small company. There's nothing stopping you, right? I mean, anything that's on the Switch can have a PC port. It's not hard. You guys have seen me legally buy games and not pirate them, and have them running on PC like 2 hours after release. Less than that, more like 90 minutes. You might as well just put it on PC at that point.
For such is my will.
Try it.
Perhaps this will break you.
I could say the same thing for gacha games as well. Aether Gazer I used to play on this channel, I quit. Well, I didn't quit, I just kind of stopped playing it. Nothing dramatic or anything. They've been promising a PC port for like a year. I'm like, you know, if you made it, more people would play. Same thing with DMC Peak of Combat. I would play that game a lot more if it had a PC port. Emulators suck.
Why? What latent force feeds these flames? I sense more here than mere will. Is this Logos? Have you truly become free? No, I forbid it. You are not a god. You are but flesh and bone. You are not one of us. I created you. All of you. And what is mine is mine to destroy.
Peak of Combat makes a couple $100,000 a month still, but they like don't do a PC port. I'm like, you know, I would add that game to my routine if it had a PC port. I just can't stand the emulator. The emulator's kind of trash for action games. You know, it's fine for like non-action gotchas. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know. For me, at least, that emulator stutters a ton and it has very inconsistent performance. So for kinds of games I enjoy, gotchas, PGR, Aether Gazer, Peak of Combat, like I just don't want to use it. That's why I really only play PGR. Play PGR because it has a PC port and it works on Steam Deck as well, so
you mine?
Skip.
No.
Skip.
No.
Why can't I skip?
No.
It's already been like 20 minutes. Let
My
me
will
skip.
is invi-
Ugh.
Something is wrong.
Skip some of them. Most of them.
You always have been.
These they make you watch.
From the moment the Blight exposed what you were, weak, you conceived us to prove otherwise. But the results shook you to the core.
Watch a movie.
In us, you saw yourself. And realized we had the potential to be more than you could ever
I
be.
don't know why they put
So you turned
unskippable
your back on your
cutscenes during a
creation.
like 20-minute boss
Back
fight.
on the world. Like
Weird
the coward
flex.
You are.
You think you know me?
Weird flex.
You know nothing.
All right.
Logos. Nothing.
Nope, still can't skip. You're not gonna let me skip anything, are you?
Bathed in light, I stand above you, my rebirth complete. And you, for your defiance, shall pay the proper price. An eternity of anguish.
Anguish. Pain. Suffering. You have known none of these. But we have. So we know what they grant. They bring us together. And that makes us strong.
Thunder roar! Ah! I will crush you.
Nice try.
Gale, unrelenting.
Oh yeah, I tried playing that and the frame rate was all messed up. It's like really laggy. I'll try it again. They've updated it a couple times. I didn't realize that this was the final boss. I thought that there was going to be like more filler. So maybe we'll try that this stream. We'll see. Yeah, combat's pretty decent. I did play it. Just didn't play it on stream. It didn't make it to the stream because of technical issues. Some other people have reported that, and I'm in their Discord. What's up, Marcy? Hello. Yeah, I thought there was going to be more filler. I wanted to do like the side quests and stuff. I kind of didn't know that it was just gonna end like this. There already was a lot of filler in this game as it is. Well, you know they took that from the PC version mod, right? The PC version has had that for years of the original game. They stole that from the PC mods, which is a good thing. I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. Just that they already had that. Yeah, there was a time skip mod. That's how people speedrun that game. With the time skip. So that you're not waiting for 5 hours. It's obviously Dead Rising without that mod or the remaster. It's impossible to speedrun because it's basically an auto-scroller. Even if you do things quick and efficiently, you still have to wait.
That's my boy!
On the light side, the thing about this game is that the gimmick boss fights are actually good. Unlike Bayonetta. The thing that makes the gimmick boss fights in this work and why Bayonetta 3 was terrible with those was the fact that, well, A, the frame rate is better. Even on PS5, this game does not have a stable frame rate on PS5, but it's still better than Bayonetta 3. But the main thing is that
darkness.
The boss fights have the same mechanics as when you're playing as Clive. They don't make, like, crap minigame mechanics. They're actually the same. I actually liked the gimmick boss fights in this game, and you guys know how much I complain about gimmick boss fights. I'm being completely honest when I say the gimmick boss fights in this game were very good. Excellent. I would hope that this game will inspire other character action game developers to make it like this, where you play as, you know, a big Megazord, but the mechanics don't change. Your moveset changes, the mechanics don't change, so it doesn't feel like a crap gimmick, which is something Bayonetta is very guilty of. Bayonetta 3 especially. The gimmick boss fights in that game are terrible for multiple reasons. Yeah, they did an excellent job with the gimmick boss fights in this game. They're barely even gimmicks. I mean, they got a lot of QTEs and stuff, so I guess you can call them gimmick boss fights, but not in the usual way. Marcy, how did this run on PS5? I've got a rock solid 120 right now. Not to brag, I'm just curious. How did it run on PS5? Was it at least 60? There's a lot going on right now. A very eventful fight. I'm genuinely curious. Is this a PowerPoint presentation? I mean, if you just want to play this, I'm on a 4070 Ti Super currently, and I've had no problems. I sent you my settings on Discord yesterday, I think. So.
Forevermore.
So sure of your place atop the world, you refuse to acknowledge those below. You chose to remain alone. And so you shunned the one thing that could have made you stronger. Pushed away the hands that could have raised you higher.
I do not need you, you or anyone.
And that is where we are different. I could not have made it here on my own. I carry with me the hopes and dreams of my brothers, my sisters. And it is they who will give me the strength.
I heard it's
to
like
end your reign.
3 times longer to get the achievement for killing all the zombies. Or it's like 3 times longer because less of them spawn. That's kind of stupid. Reverse Muso, they nerfed the enemy count. It's like actually affecting gameplay. That's what I've heard anyway. I haven't really been looking at much of that game. I kind of got my fill of that game on 360.
The only fantasy here is yours.
There you go, name drop.
We shall be its final witness.
It's okay, it's time for Form 5.
It's over!
He's gonna get up again. We're gonna do another form. He's gonna transform again. Then he's gonna do a 30-minute monologue. You can't skip. Do a 30-minute monologue. And you keep pushing start and you can't skip it. Like, this is definitely not... I like this game, but I have to be honest. One thing that Megaton Musashi did is when you beat that game, it basically gives you like an entire... I'm not making this up. It's like an entire 30-minute anime episode. And what it's nice is that it tells you, before you start it, that there's going to be a long ending, and that you shouldn't start it if you have something else to do. And I thought that that was awesome. More games should do... This game should totally do that. Because as great as the story is and everything, granted I skipped it, but, you know, I have seen this before. I already knew the ending. It should totally warn you, or, like, let you save before the cutscene. It's actually really unfair that it doesn't. This is the worst game to play unless you have, like, at least... You know, if you're watching the cutscenes, you need at least, like, 90 minutes to clear a level in this game. It's kind of strange. It's just, like, I don't see how it could be too hard to just let you save before it. Like, you know, hey, you gotta go to work or school or whatever, walk the dog, take a dump, whatever. You know, you should be able to pause. And it was really cool that Megaton Musashi let you do that. Because the reward of beating Megaton Musashi is literally an entire anime episode. It's like a full-length epised. I'm like, yeah, you know, if I was watching the story and, hey, I had to go work at my neighbor's house or get something done, it would actually actively piss me off. Because I'd be forced to skip it and watch it later. But yeah, hopefully if they make another game like this, they have a little bit more consideracy with, they're a little bit more considerate with how long these cutscenes are. I can't skip!
Aren't you the most beautiful thing?
He is, isn't he? What are you gonna call him?
Let me see, let me see. Oh, read little one. You've got a smile for your Uncle Gav.
Not so loud, you burp.
What? I was only... Shh.
You're scaring him.
It's all right.
Oh.
Shredder's Revenge DLC. I was talking about that before you got in here. And look it up right now as I'm stuck in this cutscene, can't skip. It's not up on PC currently.
A sky of scattered
I don't want this copyrighted song. Let me skip. Should be able to skip everything. I've already seen it. Probably gonna get a copyright claim for this. I can't get out of it.
I can take it.
I'll hold you to that.
The world's yours now. Yours to do with as you please. That's what Sid wanted. That's what they both wanted.
Still can't skip. I don't really care for this ending. Like, why can't you just let them be happy? The Tales of the Abyss did this better. Tales of the Abyss, the side content actually confirms what happens at the end. It's undebatable. I don't like this ambiguous ending. That's why I skipped all the story. This feels like it's just depressing for the sake of being depressing. I'm not a fan of these kinds of endings. Tales of the Abyss kind of does a similar thing, but not quite. But there is like you know, it's uncertainty, like if the main character comes back, but like the side contents that's not like big production value cutscenes tells you.
Did our journey end?
I heard they won't tell Ben Starr if they're making another one. They told him to not post his opinion on whether Clive lives, because people will obviously take his opinion. They'll put more weight on that than, you know, a random content creator like me. But yeah, I'm not a fan of these kinds of endings. It's like, either make it happy or sad. Don't make it ambiguous. They said that they wanted to make it so that it was up for interpretation, but it's like, you know, you play the game and watch the story, you want him to live. I don't know, man. I don't find endings like this satisfying. It's like, either commit to the bit or don't. Like, kill him off or bring him back. Period. Can't skip this, man. I hate when they put copyrighted music and you can't skip it. Come on, get off this. Yeah, the ending doesn't hit well for me. I don't like when video games do this. Like, just have the balls to kill him off. Just have the balls to kill him off, alright? Or make him survive. Like, one or the other. There we go, New Game Plus. Exactly, that's what they did with 15. That's what they did with 15. 15, he dies, and it's a definitive ending. He's dead. He's dead. He does the ultimate sacrifice to, you know, get rid of the zombies and shit. The Eternal Night or whatever it's called. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
And like, it was a
don't
depressing
expect me
ending,
back,
but there
I
wasn't
say.
any debates
Your
about it, right?
benefactors are a generous lot.
I don't know. When video games and movies do this kind of thing, it feels like they just do it because they want people to keep talking about it after they finish it. Like, that's the real reason. They want to keep it in people's minds. But, like, storytelling for me, I definitely care more when you actually commit to it. Like, you know, he either gets a happy ending or he dies. None of this. Go on Reddit and make a 500 comment thread about whether he's alive or not. I don't really care for it.
Go on then. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Something for you, dear. That it? Fine.
I think some people like the ending, but I just find it to be a cop-out. To have, like, so much story. There's so much story in this game. I mean, this game has, like, multiple feature-length movies worth of cutscenes, which isn't a bad thing. I might not be into story and stuff, like most people are, but, it's weird to have that much and then just kind of cop out with the ending. Okay, does anyone know how I unlock the DLC? Just go ahead and tell me. I mean, the game's finished. I already knew the ending. I already knew that he dies or doesn't. He just takes a nap, alright? He's tired. He's gotta get his stamina bar back. There's your ending. Aren't you satisfied? Well, the thing about FF15 was that there was supposed to be, like, an alternate ending where he does live. But it was a different situation from this game where they actually were going to make that.
I don't trust this cheek.
They were going to make that, but then they got cut off. They got probably forced to make this game.
I'll see what I can. I may have met this dude before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
It's not only control of the garrison.
Okay, do you guys care about Tales of the Abyss spoilers? How many of you care about Abyss spoilers? I mean, it's a 20-year-old game. You've had chances to play it. I mean, you can go download it and play it right now. But I failed to properly critique the ending of this game. I need to spoil Tales of the Abyss. So does anybody care? Okay, so in Tales of the Abyss... Okay, well, you might want to mute. Just mute for a few minutes, alright? I'll give you a little bit. Just mute for a little bit. I'm going to talk about the Abyss ending. And how it does this kind of thing way better. I'll let you know in the chat. Alright, so at the end, he beat Van, and, you know, Luke seemingly dies. But he comes back, and in the anime cutscene, you can't see his face. So it's unsure if it's Luke or Ash that's back. But when you complete... Now, I don't remember the minute details because it's been like 20 years, but... the side content that unlocks, kind of like at this point of the game where you're doing you know, side stuff. There's like that part where you talk to the scientist and it basically tells you that the replica will come back or something. So what that tells you is even though the ending cutscene, you know, the big, you know, commissioned anime cutscene, is ambiguous, but there's a definitive answer to it, which is Luke is the one that's in the body. So it's more satisfying because not only does it give you the answer, you're rewarded for playing the, you know, side stuff. And this is kind of just... we don't want to actually commit to either outcome, so we want you to go on Reddit and debate about it for 10 years. Like, I don't really care for that kind of storytelling. One or the other. Don't try to please both. I feel like most people, given the discussions I saw when this game came out and I couldn't play it because it wasn't on PC, it's like most people just want him to come back anyway, because that's the normal thing you want to happen when you connect with a RPG like this, which is a much larger time investment than watching a movie. It's multiple movies worth. Probably like a good 10 or 20 MCU movies. I don't care for it. But, yeah.
Excuse...
I feel like what makes it worse is that they already said that they're not gonna
Let's see what Philippe...
do anything more with this universe, meaning that there's not gonna be any kind of sequel, even if it's not with him. You know, they're not gonna expand upon this at all. So it's like, we don't want to actually make an ending.
Welcome back.
We don't want to actually make an ending. We want to,
Raids give you any trouble?
cop out.
None worth mentioning.
But yeah, Tales of the Abyss did this kind of story way better.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least.
But oh well, I wasn't really playing this for the story because I already saw it, but it still bothers me. A lot of people say that he comes back because the book has to be written by him. But personally, I don't know, why don't you just make him come back then? People are still debating it to this day.
Of course.
Alright.
Your town needs you. I need you.
I saw the captain just now.
I would speak with this Duke.
And what does the dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
So you are content to abandon...
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
I also think, I'm going to talk about Vesperia spoilers. I'm pretty sure all of you have beaten that game, but
The reports were true.
I also don't really like when the monsters are still around, but then they do an ending where, like, they make it so nobody can fight them. Because that's what they do in Tales of Vesperia. Tales of Vesperia, the whole ending is basically that they get rid of Blastia. So, like, it doesn't seem like a good ending, because it's like, well, the way that people fight in that game is that they use the Blastia to get, like, metahuman powers and stuff, and they also use it for, non-combative things, like their electricity and stuff, their source of power. And then, like, the ending is basically, yeah, we don't have that anymore. It's kind of optimistic, in a way, because it says that, you know, Rita is going to make, like, some other kind of power source or something. But it's like, dude, you walk immediately out the town and there's, like, big giant boars and stuff. That's kind of what this game does, too, is, like, there's no more magic, but there's still, like, all these monsters and shit, like, immediately outside every town. But Vesperia has a much worse story than this game does. That's, can't really debate that. Vesperia had like 3 different writers. The final boss in that game always felt to me like he was the final boss because there wasn't anyone else left. Like, the major villain dies at the halfway point, or in the end of the second arc. And you just kind of fight him because there's no one else left. They haven't really established any other kind of villain that you can fight. I don't know, Vesperia's story is worth watching just because like the whole found family thing of that game is really awesome. How they're all very troubled people and they find comfort and solace in each other, but like the actual story is a mess. It starts off strong, but kind of ends pretty flaccid. Just because they had 3 different writers on it, a lot of plot points get dropped. But yeah, I found the ending to that game was kind of unintentionally depressing because they establish at the beginning of the game that, you know, they have these Blastia barriers that prevent them from getting attacked by the monsters, but then the whole ending is they use all the power of the Blastia to stop the Autophagos. It's like, okay, well, how are they supposed to fight the monsters now?
It's only just begun.
Yeah, he's at the beginning of the game and you can talk to him. I know that side quest. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Duke is the final boss because nobody else can be. That's really the only reason. There's no one else left. I mean, there is the Autophagos, but in the constraints of a Tails battle system, you can't really have that be the final boss. And Zestiria proves that that was a good idea. Because the final boss in Zestiria is a literal Monster Hunter boss. Which obviously means it doesn't stagger. It doesn't really work. There wasn't really any other way that they could do an ending.
Can we get you anything? How?
I don't know, like, the Vesperia ending, the only thing that really made it positive was the fact that they show, in the credits, they show that Rita is supposedly making, like, a new energy source. But, like, it's not very uplifting, because, like, really early on, the game establishes that,
Best of luck out
you know,
there,
they
Sid.
need the Blastia. It's not only, like, an energy source, it's what's, like, preventing them from being overrun by monsters, but then you go ahead and sacrifice them all. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts on, this game's ending. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I'm just repeating myself at this point.
One can never... Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Nothing about it. I feel like it's calling to me.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Ta-ra then.
Thank you, Karen.
No, he doesn't come back. Sorry. Don't die, alright?
If you're gonna buy
And guess what? You're never gonna know. You gotta go on Reddit and discuss it for the next 15 years.
You're rubbing me
And have a
blind, you know.
10,000
You'll not find a
reply
better
thread
price
about
than
it.
that.
Instead of
Finished,
actually
are
giving
ya?
you the answer. Doing like actual proper storytelling instead of copping out. Isn't that great? Or it could be like God of War, where they give you a cliffhanger, and then you had to buy a PS3. God of War 2 was pretty bad about that as well. It ended on a massive cliffhanger, and then you had to go spend $600 on a PS3. Like, yeah, that wasn't great either. But to be fair, God of War 2 came out like a couple months before the PS3, so they weren't really gonna make a third game on the PS3 when that game pushed the PS2 to its limits. It's like one of the most technically impressive PS2 games out there, because it's got like big set pieces and it's like 60 FPS most of the time. It was a very impressive game, and like clearly, I mean, the PS2 wasn't completely dead after God of War 2, but there were like a lot less big games for it. Everybody was transitioning to HD, but like they couldn't keep upping the ante on the PS2. I mean, they did like literally everything they could, but unfortunately, well, not only did you have to go buy a new console, you had to wait like 4 years. God of War 3 was not a launch title. It was like a mid-gen game. It came out like 2010. So, good 4 years in, you had to wait. Well, Shenmue 3 is another one. Shenmue 3 is, literal insanity. Imagine appearing on the stage of a game conference, a game event, and coming out, and instead of announcing a game, you're begging for crowdfunding. And then because you have so many old people like me, elder millennials, that were like teenagers when Shenmue 2 came out. You really bank on that nostalgia, and you actually get the game funded. But then, because you're an idiot, you don't end the game. You don't end the story. You end it on a cliffhanger. It's a literal cliffhanger that doesn't resolve anything. And then, like, to make things worse, the game had problems outside of its storytelling, namely that they sold out to Epic despite begging for crowdfunding. They still sold out to Epic, which pissed everybody off. I think they had to give, like, refunds or something because they wanted more money, so they sold out to Epic despite they already begging people to, you know, basically pay for the game. And it doesn't end. You get to the end, and Lan Di just leaves. He just leaves. You don't even land a punch on him. Like, that's like the stupidest thing that I think anybody with the capability of making a video game has ever done. The ending in this is unsatisfying, yes, but at least you do get a little bit of closure. But, like, Shenmue 3 is literally none. They wrote that game expecting it to be like this big success, and that they were going to be able to finish it eventually, but then that didn't happen. I don't think it made barely any money outside of what was crowdfunded, and then the sellout money they took from Epic. That's like all the money it made. Like, I don't know, man. If I was in my 60s, and I wanted to end something, like, my life's work, I definitely would make it, like, a definitive ending. Like, no questions left. Like, you would not need to go on Reddit and discuss, debate the ending. You would not need to do that. Like, it would answer everything. It's like, even outside of, you know, not knowing if the game will do well enough to make another sequel, like, the guy is, like, he's like 60 or 70. Like, how much time does he have left and energy to make, like, a whole big game like that? You should go watch videos on Shenmue 3, how much of a disaster it is. Apparently the game is very boring. It really does feel like a filler arc, but then, like, it actually is, because the story doesn't end. There's, like, absolutely no development at all. You go through this whole training arc to beat Lan Di, and then you don't land a punch on him and he leaves. And that's the whole game. I'm really glad that, despite being a Dreamcast owner, I was not interested in Shenmue, because that story is legit never going to end. And I think what makes it worse is that, at the time, it was revolutionary. The graphics, and, like, the realism of how the town worked, with how you had NPCs had, like, actual schedules and stuff. They weren't just, like, people standing around like most games. They had, like, actual schedules. And there's no ending. There's no conclusion. It does not end. I think Yu Suzuki needs to, retire. He seriously needs to retire, because what he did with Shenmue 3 is, like, something that not a sane person would do. Like, I would never do that in my position. Like, if I got money to finish my life's work, I would actually do it.
Anything catch your eye?
I wouldn't just assume that, you know, the game's gonna be this massive success and I can make, like, another 3 games.
Is everything we've received.
But, like, even that doesn't make sense, because he's already, like, way past his prime. He wasn't that young when the first one came out, and that was, like, over 20 years ago. He was already pretty old. Well, Golden Sun was kind of a mess because people didn't like the DS game. Also, the graphics were terrible. Golden Sun went through the transition that Final Fantasy did, where it went from beautiful pixel art to shitty 3D models, which was exactly the transition from Final Fantasy 6 to 7. But like, unlike Final Fantasy 7, people were not friendly to it at all. Everybody hated the graphics. I'm like, yeah, you can't really follow up nice like pre-rendered pixel art with shitty N64 character models. I didn't know that it didn't end though. I thought it actually had an ending. Shenmue 3 is still worse though. Shenmue 3 is far, far worse. Shenmue 3 is how you can burn through millions of dollars and then simultaneously burn through goodwill that you built for literal decades making legendary video games.
How are you doing?
How can you throw all that away? That's exactly what he did. He burnt through all that goodwill. He's a legendary game developer, but he's way past his prime, and he made very stupid decisions that, I don't know if it's going to end his career, but I doubt any publisher's going to want to give him money to make another game. I think he's cooked. Oh, well, that was a whole other mess. That was, a scam, basically. Because they said that the Red Ash game was supposed to come out on, like, some Chinese console. It was supposed to come out on some Chinese console, but then the console didn't actually exist. Okay, I have no idea how to activate this DLC. Alright, well I'm gonna take a break on this because it's side quest hell. Let's play some Fight Forever. I'll do all the side quests off stream. I'll do all that off stream. It's gonna be boring to watch. Well, I didn't play, I only played the first Golden Sun. I didn't play the second one. But I know that, people didn't like it. I know that much. Alright, let's play some Fight Forever for a little bit, and then I think I'm gonna get something to eat. Actually getting kinda hungry. Actually, let's check FF16 mods, because I finished the game. Let's check FF16 mods. Hold on. We'll check some FF16 mods really quick, see if anything cool came out, as I cleared the game a lot faster than I thought. I thought there was going to be a lot of filler, but I kind of went into the final boss not knowing. Let's see what they got here. Maybe I'll install some mods and finish the rest of the game. Probably later today. I have to work at my neighbor's house today, so can't really do a full DGen stream. Fully modular combat rebalance. Yeah, you can give yourself more damage, which is nice, because there definitely is an HP sponge problem in this game. Huh. Well, that's kind of cool. What else is there? Yeah, this is the mod I used here, the 50% CDR. Saying they're going to talk about animation canceling in the future. That's pretty good. OP equipment. Huh. Yeah, there's some decent gameplay mods currently, but nothing too crazy yet. The 50% cooldown is the best. It makes the game a lot faster. I might mess around with the damage a bit, but I kind of want to play through the DLC as intended, because you get a bloody palace in there and stuff. Anyway, let's play some Fight Forever. Let me go ahead and I have to extract it. Give me a sec. Yeah, Mighty Number 9, by the way, also promised a 3DS version that never came out. They asked for money, and the 3DS version never came out. I think there was supposed to be a Vita version as well. They handled it way worse than Bloodstain. Bloodstain did the same thing, but they canceled it. They canceled it because they knew that it couldn't run, which was a very wise choice in retrospect, because the Switch version of Bloodstain was a disaster. It barely functioned. It had 10 frames of input lag or something like that. It felt awful. So that was actually a very good choice in retrospect, that they actually realized hey, we can't actually deliver what we promised.
Select your character. Select your character.
Masterpiece video game. Beat 'em ups are the best. This Cadillacs and Dinosaurs boss theme is awesome too. On the topic of disappointing cliffhangers, Bayonetta 3 is a whole other story. That game is a disaster. Horrible storytelling.
Select your character.
Let's put some good boomer millennial music on. There we go. This is the game of the year right here. Game of the year right here. Game of the century. Let's put on some more boomer music. I love beat 'em up so much. I wouldn't really say the genre is moving forward. We have literally 3 shit beat-em-ups coming out this month. This month, it's not even this month. It's this next week. There's the Karate Kid game, which is bad. There's the Night Slashers remake. What's the third one? Oh, G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe demo is terrible. All those games are coming out in the next week. So, it's not moving forward. It's stillborn currently. There's games like this that are actually doing new stuff. And this is like a passion project made for free. Now, he does take donations. I mean, it's worthy. I know this demo was funded because he had health problems with his family, and the community came through and helped him pay for his bills, which is wholesome for one, but he's not making a salary off this. But it's like better than all the beat 'em ups that are coming out the next week, which is just depressing. I don't know, man. It's been really bad post Streets 4. There's only been a couple worth playing. Shredder's Revenge is okay. It's definitely not a bad game. I just don't think it's really got a lot of depth to it. It's really carried by the pixel art, the license, and the soundtrack. All those things are on point. The gameplay is just kind of average. I don't really like it that much. I would much rather play this. I'll still check out the DLC, but I'll still check out the DLC, but I don't like the way that they built the foundation of Shredder's Revenge, which is just quantity over quality. The DLC, the last DLC from last year, helped a lot. It definitely did help. Because those characters actually played unique. But it's like, why didn't you make the game like that in the first place? I'm hearing Rita's Rewind is going to do the same thing all over again with identical characters. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. It's been a struggle to be a beat-em-up fan these past couple years, post Streets 4. Been really rough out here. Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, the launch of River City Girls 2 was a complete disaster. That the only reason there's not a 4-hour video essay on it is because it's a niche game. I can totally understand wanting to prevent that from happening again. That game had one of the worst launches of any beat-em-up. That's what they need to do to prevent that from happening again. I mean, I'm all for it. This Cadillacs and Dinosaurs remix is so good. Work of art. This game needs to be in a museum. Alright, you should have Carlos unlocked now. Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, that's how that game has always been, though. It's so hard to come back to because they change stuff so much. And then you have to go into raids to progress, and raids are actively the worst part of that game in every way. Also, the game is just old. It's the 20th anniversary of DNF is next year. Can you believe that? It's only a little bit younger than World of Warcraft. Like, it predates all gacha games. It came out during the PS2 generation. That's how old that game is. It came out at the end of the PS2 generation. Like, DMC3 came out the same year that DNF started. It's just an old game. There's only so much that you can change it to get people interested in it. The main thing that keeps people wanting to play it is because it's not going to shut down. Whereas everything that came after it, meaning all the gacha games and stuff, you know, there's no guarantee they'll stick around for even a year. We just had Concord shut down in like 10 days. And they lost like $200 million or whatever on that game. So that's also a big part of why World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XI are still around. Just because they're like shutdown proof. They might be old and antiquated, and it might be hard to get like younger people into them, but they also like won't shut down. So that gives people a lot of security. That's something you don't have with gacha games. Gacha games can die overnight. Luckily, I haven't really had that happen too many times, but it's definitely a reality. It's just there's also the problem of like making a making a sequel to a game like that is almost impossible to succeed. It's always just really daunting to come back to DFO. That's like the main problem. It's so hard to come back to because there's like just sweeping changes, and you still have to do the shitty raids and stuff. Alright, well, I think I'm done for now. I'm actually getting kind of hungry. I have very little money left for the month. I just got a damn DoorDash bill right when I didn't need that. That was supposed to be my money for lunch, so I guess I'm having a sandwich today. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go. We'll do more side quest hell later, or maybe I'll try the God of War roguelike. But yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry. I didn't even eat breakfast, so I think I should eat something. Maybe figure out what I'm gonna do for lunch. Maybe I have a little bit of money left. I can go get something to eat right now, and then maybe just make a sandwich for dinner or something. But I had to work in my neighbor's house tonight. He was very difficult last night. I'm definitely gonna need some energy to put up with him. So we'll see what happens. I'll be back maybe after I eat. I might just come back after I eat and we'll do the side quest hell on Final Fantasy, or I'll start the God of War roguelike. But I'm not really used to that combat, so I don't know how much of that I want to stream. And I paid for that with my own money. I paid with that with my own money. It was not donated to me, so I don't really feel like I need to stream too much of it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit.